Bike blogger here, topic of the day. We're cycling to work. Topic of the day, how to get started bike commuting. I got 5 tips for you, and let's keep it short, or let's get straight to the point. I got some notes here. Easy. It's really windy, by the way. It's cold. It's 30 mile per hour gusts. So number 1, get a bike. You gotta have a bike to bike commute. You need to get fit for that bike. You need to have the right kind of bike. It depends on the person, depends on your climate, depends on what kind of riding you're doing, depends if you're going off-road or not. A lot of different options: fit, function, and fashion. The three F's, yeah. So I did another video about fit. Very basically the highlights. You want the bike such that you can raise the saddle high enough that you can extend your legs pretty much all the way on the downstroke of the pedal. You also want the front end of your bike such that you don't feel all cramped up. Now this is a personal preference. If you want to feel more sitting straight up or sitting leaning over a little bit, I prefer leaning over quite a lot, actually. Get a little bit more aerodynamic advantage. So you got pretty much 3 types of handlebars. You can do the flat, straight handlebars, which are very common on mountain bikes. You got these like bullhorn handlebars, give you a couple more positions on the bike. And then of course you got road bars, which mainly give you the drops. You can get down here. Not a lot of need for the drops, in my opinion, but to each his own on the road. Whew. A little chilly. Need to make a left here, so let's get in line. Whew. UPS guy don't have a license plate, or USPS I should say, Postal Service. Good to bring some water with you too. See, I got some water. Even when it's cold, like it is today, always good to bring some water. Some lawyers, freaking lawyers. Whew. So yeah, that's number 1. Get a bike. Fit, function, fashion. I say fashion because you want a bike that you're going to be happy riding. Nobody coming? Oh, good. We're good. What's number 2 here? Woo! Like I said, a little chilly. All right. Gotta stop again. Oh. And we stopped again. Number 2. All right. Let me get on a quieter street here. It's kind of busy on the road right now. And there's people walking in the street over here. It's so not busy. Let's get over a little bit. Whew. This is actually a one-way street. All right, man, it's hard to read this because it's so windy right now. Okay, essential bike tools. Yeah, so that's number 2. Get your essential bike tools. That means bring with you what you would need to repair your bike on a ride. And you're probably thinking already, what? Okay, forget it. I don't want a bike commute because I don't want to be pulled over on the side of the road when it's minus 20 Fahrenheit outside, fixing a flat tire or something. Well, the quicker you know how to change a flat tire, the better. So you gotta learn that. That's really the most basic thing you gotta learn how to do. And you get good at it pretty quick, and you can do it maybe in 5 minutes. It's not a big deal. It does happen to everybody. Then again, you know, you drive a car, you're gonna have car problems all the time too. And you know, you don't have to ride your bike, you know, like every day, but you know, it's something to think about. So get some tools, learn to use them, some tool recommendations I have, you know, changing a tire, what are you gonna need? You're gonna need a tire lever, a little tiny plastic lever. You used to be able to buy, I don't know, a pair of them for $1. You know, check your local bike shop. Everything's a lot more expensive than it used to be, which is annoying, but you know, that's just kind of the way of things. Things just get more expensive over time. Invest now, invest now, invest now. A bike pump, you're gonna need a little bike pump. I use a tiny little Lazine, I think is how you pronounce it. Bike pump. It looks ridiculous when you're pumping up a tire because it's so small. And it takes quite a bit of pumps to get these high pressure tires up, because I ride these skinny tires, 25 millimeter wide skinny tires, about 1 inch wide. You don't have to do that though. You can have some fatter tires, get a little more cushion for your ride, a little more comfort. Another tool good to have, well, a patch kit, a tire patch kit. Basically, it's like a little bandage. You just stick it on your tube of your tire, and then you can inflate the tire. That way you don't have to have a spare inner tube with you. Always good to have a good spare inner tube though, because if you get the type of flat tire where you blow out, kaboom, you know, you blow out your inner tube because, I don't know, you didn't mount it correctly. I've done that a lot of times in the past with these really skinny, with these really thin, you know, performance, lightweight inner tubes. And if you don't get it perfectly on the rim there, you pinch it and then boom, you get a little heat going. It just blows on you. It blows, it blows, it blows. If you get one of those snake bites, as they call them, you bottom out your wheel rim and you get a flat that way. You can fix that with a patch kit. If you just get a simple puncture, you know, a little pin prick, you can fix that with a patch kit. Patch kit, I don't know, they used to cost like $3, maybe. Probably more expensive nowadays. Again, invest now, invest now. Invest in your future. Invest in your bike. Invest in you. Invest in yo. I have a whole bunch of other videos also on like what I bring with me on a bike ride, on a bike commute to work. Generally, I don't carry all the really big stuff. Going this way, okay, I don't know. Just decided to go this way today. We're going to go this way. I was gonna go straight, but I made a last minute decision. Whew, it's getting cold. I should probably wear even longer sleeves. But yeah, that's probably one of the other notes, right? One of the other tips here. Oh man, it's a bumpy road. And I watch out down here because sometimes have a gate closed off. Looks like it's open right now, so I'm not gonna go over the bars. Yay! Not going over the bars. Number 3, get the necessary, what does it say? There's a pedestrian in the road and some cars in the road. A little strange. Usually you don't have people parking in the driveway here. All right, get the necessary bike gear. Yeah, let's make a left here. More pedestrians. Why aren't they on the sidewalk? I guess I'll take the sidewalk. Cyclist is gonna take the sidewalk. All right, now we got a SUV. We're gonna just keep going down the sidewalk. Get the necessary bike gear as you need it for each thing. Okay, yeah, so bike gear. So what I'm talking about there is pretty much cycling clothing and other accessories you might need, like a bike light. Kind of recommend you get a bike light. Let's go left here. Gotta go this way to work. Definitely gonna need a bike light when it's dark outside at night, or just dark. I mean, it gets dark around where I live around 5 p.m. in the winter. So, I mean, you pretty much essentially have to have a bike light, unless you're kind of like me. In recent months, I've been going in earlier in the morning so I could leave earlier in the afternoon Well, that even fluctuates sometimes, but that's why flex time's kind of sweet. Woo. But then I go in early in the morning and it's gonna be dark anyway. So usually either going to work or coming home in the winter, if you live in like kind of, you know, the United States, America, it's gonna be dark, you know, sometime during your bike commute. So you're gonna have to have the bike lights. Bicycle helmet, essential in my opinion. This is coming from a guy who's been hit by a car, been hospitalized, gone over the bars. Fortunately, didn't break my neck. You know, things happen. I highly recommend a bike helmet because, hey, I'd rather have something than nothing. Some people say a bike helmet's basically like not worth it, but you know, hey, I'll take it. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal. I'll take the bike helmet any day. Whew. Let's see. So yeah, basically, again, I'm thinking about price. You know, if you got a lot of money, or if you're doing pretty good, kind of have a comfortable living, maybe it's not a big deal. In that case, I would say if you got the money and you're really serious about, you know, getting into bikes or whatever, just go for it. You know, get all the fancy stuff. You'll have more fun, typically. You know, don't buy really cheap stuff and then just be frustrated with it. You know, if you can pay a little more, get something a little nicer, hey, go for it. Otherwise, be frugal like me and just try a whole bunch of stuff until you figure out what works for you. But just get it as you need it, you know, don't splurge on everything at once unless you need it. This light went red. It stinks. All right, we're gonna wait up here at the light. I'm gonna continue on to step number 4. Find the best route for you to work. There's a cyclist over there. He's facing the wrong way. He must be riding the sidewalk. Don't know what that's about. I mean, like, you know, I don't ride the sidewalk. When was the last time I ever rode my bike on the sidewalk? Never. Best bike route for you. So use maps and apps for figuring out your bike route. That can be pretty fun, actually, figuring out your commute to work or wherever it is you're going on by bike. I use Google Maps. You know, I have another video about a list of different websites you can use that I've used in the past that worked out pretty well for me, that I recommend. About 15 seconds to go. Whew. A little chilly. Let's see what else. Bike route, maps. Yeah, I like to spend a lot of time figuring out my routes. Usually you can find a shortcut or something. There we go. A lot of cyclists like to ride on the sidewalks. I don't really blame them. Basically because I live in one of the worst. Every cyclist thinks this, but I live in one of the worst cities, I think, in terms of bicycle infrastructure in America. But then again, America, it's pretty bad when it comes to any mode of transportation other than private automobile. Oh well, it's the way it goes. Not that bad living in America. Living in the USA, the US of A. Whew. So yeah, number 5, the last thing, the last one. What's that last tip, bike blogger? What's that last tip for you? Whew. Actually, it hasn't been that cold, right? I think I'm warming up as I get going. That's another thing. If you can pick a route where you don't have to stop a lot, that's ideal. I like to go the back roads or the The side streets, sure, they got a lot of stop signs. Sure, you gotta slow down, stop the intersections, but generally you're not stopping for a long time, like waiting for a stoplight. If you live in a very large city, chances are the stoplights are constantly, you know, cycling, you know, I don't know, every 60 seconds. Not that bad. There's some stoplights, and you'll figure this out as you start riding your bike. What are the faster, more efficient routes? Some stoplights I come across, if you just miss it, you could be waiting for 2.5 minutes until you can go again, just because it's, I don't know, that's what the a traffic engineer decide how to, you know, plan out that road or intersection for whatever reason. And that's really annoying, so try to avoid I don't go through stoplights when they're red, unless they're malfunctioning. Always an exception to rules, but try to avoid those sort of areas if I can. Do a trial ride, yes, that's number 5. Last one, do a trial ride. Change things up as you need, but do a trial ride. Generally, I like to do Sunday afternoon. Generally, Sundays in my country are pretty quiet on the road, especially in the afternoon before it gets dark. It's the weekend, but it's not the weekend, you know, because the next day is a work week on Monday, so you're not dealing necessarily with as much traffic. Dealing with weekend drivers, possibly people that don't drive during the work weeks because they're retired or whatever, but you know, typically Sunday is a pretty good day to do a trial run. It's not going to be a real trial run because obviously if your regular commute's on a weekday, you need to, you know, go on the weekday and see what the traffic's like, but you can at least try to, you know, work out the bugs in your, you know, in your bike commute to see if it works for you or not. So yeah, those are my 5 tips to get started bike commuting. Things to think about, I don't know anyone who's really starting bike commuting now that winter's coming, because not the ideal time to be bike commuting, but some people like riding in the winter. Why? Even though you gotta wear layers, you gotta be more bundled up, and that's kind of a hassle, and it takes more time to get ready in the morning. You know, you need nice bike lights. You may need, you know, fenders or mud guards on your bike. If you live in a, you know, a freezing climate like tonight, it's gonna freeze, man. It's October and mid-October. It's gonna be down in the 20s Fahrenheit tonight. But you might need bicycle tires with little spikes on them called studded tires. Something to consider for ice. For ice, they don't help with snow, but not really. But for ice, very helpful. Used them a lot in the past. Kind of annoying when there is no ice on the road, but they work real well. I do recommend them. They're kind of pricey though, so I wouldn't probably dump a bunch of money into something like that right away. I'd probably, if I was gonna start bike commuting, I was a new bike commuter, I'd start probably not, you know, deep into the winter months. When I first started bike commuting, I can't remember, I think it was springtime really, because I started my job, one of my past jobs where I first started bike commuting. I believe I started in the spring, like, I don't know, around April or something. So that's a really good time to, you know, get into bike commuting. Nice thing about winter, of course, is you're not sweating as much. So that works out pretty well. And you can layer, why'd you stop, bike blogger? You should have stayed on your bike. You could have made that turn. You know, but when it's really chilly like now, I'm wearing short sleeves. It's kind of my own fault that I'm cold, but I'm not sweating at all. I mean, or it's, you know, drying up real fast. So I don't get to, you know, work all soggy and smelly, or as much as I would if I was, you know, if it was, let's go this way. Gotta go around this way because we go around counter clockwise around these roundabouts, and United States. I'm not sure in countries where you drive on the opposite side of the road, like I guess what, the UK and Japan. Do the roundabouts like that? Do you go clockwise around those? I guess so, right? Because you drive on the other side of the road. If I have any viewers who have visited those countries or live in those countries, let me know. I'm kind of curious. I guess I could look it up myself, but I'm probably not gonna. So that's why I ask. Oh man, the light's green. I didn't even notice that. Go, 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 go. Let's get to the light. Woo. Fortunately, there's nobody around. What the heck? It's kind of funny. Where are all the cars? It's so quiet. Let's make a left. Let's go this way. Easy. Down into the alleyway. Whew, something stinks. I know it stinks. It's the alleyway. You went down the alleyway. What are you doing? Gonna go up the hill here. It's a pretty steep hill. It doesn't look it on the GoPro, but oh man, I hope my GoPro's working. I do recommend having a dash cam GoPro or something with you, just as a, I always recommend people have dash cams because people lie, you know. I've experienced this multiple times where, you know, someone causes an accident and they flat out lie. Could it not be their fault? Could they just not remember? You know, like eyewitness testimony is pretty unreliable, or it's not as reliable as people think. No, people just flat out lie. It's like, oh yeah, the light was green. No, it wasn't. It was solid red, and you blew right through it. But yeah, anyway, so those are my 5 tips. Leave your tips in the comment section below, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching the Bike Blogger channel. Almost to work now. Almost to work now. Almost to work now. Whew.